"We can live with you if you want, Susie." My mother-in-law barged into our house out of the blue and dropped a bombshell as I was getting ready to move into a home I have bought. "She has made my life miserable, treating me like a workhorse whenever I visited my in-laws' place despite never lifting a finger himself." My father-in-law Scott seemed to be riding along without stopping her. It seemed clear they intended to move in and make me their servant. Determined not to let that happen, I shared a shocking truth with them. "Wait, but I'm single, you know what?" Despite my declaration of being single, my in-laws continued to insult me. In their panic, a certain person witnessing their behavior became even more furious upon hearing their insults. "I'm Lisa, a 33-year-old working at a major company. My husband Greg and I work at the same place and have been married for 2 years. We met at a company party and he fell for me at first sight. After asking around the company about my department, he started pursuing me aggressively. Initially, I wasn't sure about him, thinking to myself, who is this guy? But his persistent invitations to dinner made me think being with someone so devoted could be fun and reassuring, so I decided to date him. After about 2 years of dating, we got married and started our happy life together, or so I thought. Our marriage was going well, especially since we worked at the same company, making it easy to coordinate schedules and share household chores. We even managed to travel on our dates. I felt truly lucky to have married him, except for one thing: his parents. When I first met them, they seemed kind and welcoming, making me think we could have a good relationship. However, they turned out to be terrible people. One day when Greg and I had the same day off and planned to relax at home, the doorbell rang unexpectedly. Who could that be, I wondered, since we weren't expecting anyone or any deliveries. "I got this," Greg said, and went to answer the door. It was as if he was expecting someone. "Oh, this place is quite spacious for an apartment, but what's up with these steps? Geez, my legs. Oh my Lisa, how sloppy of you to be wearing sweatpants on your day off. Don't embarrass my son by looking like that." It was Susie and Scott. As soon as they entered the living room, they just went ahead and made themselves comfortable on our couch. It was evident they felt entitled to respect and were quick to dish out passive-aggressive comments. Scott, while not directly harmful, seemed to encourage Susie's behavior. "Hey Greg, why did you invite them on our day off? We have planned to spend it together." I confronted Greg. "Sorry, Mom insisted, and I couldn't say no." Greg apologized. "Well, you could have at least told me," I retorted, frustrated by his lack of communication. Having faced numerous instances of harassment from Susie, I had often discussed these issues with them, so he was well aware of the tension, yet possibly due to his obligation to be a dutiful son, he rarely stood up to them. "Really can't you even serve a simple cup of coffee?" Susie loudly insinuated a demand for coffee, while Greg and I whispered amongst ourselves. Their audacity was astounding, especially given their unexpected visit. "Sorry, I'll get it ready right away," I acquiesced, hurriedly preparing coffee. "You're supposed to have it ready by the time we arrive." I ignored her sarcasm and hurried to make coffee in the kitchen. Thanks to them staying until the evening, I ended up having to prepare lunch for them too, ruining a rare day off. But that's not the only unpleasant episode with them. One day Greg said, "Hey Lisa, yeah, Mom's planning to have a small party this weekend with some neighbors and relatives, and she wants us to come." Honestly, I didn't want to go. If I went, it was obvious that I would be made to work hard, but I knew that if I didn't go, I would definitely be badmouthed later, so thinking it was better than being badmouthed, I reluctantly agreed to attend. It would have been better if my husband had just declined in the first place, but knowing it would be futile to say anything, I didn't voice my thoughts. On the day of the party, we were called earlier than the start time. "Hi Susie, we're here," I said as we arrived. "You're late. It's common sense to come 20 minutes early." Susie scolded. "Whoa Mom, we got caught in traffic. Give her a break." G tried to appease her. "Greg, you take it easy now. Lisa, hurry up and get to it," his mother said, treating my husband gently while being harsh towards me. I was utterly infuriated by her attitude. As I had expected, I ended up having to make all the snacks for the party by myself. Although I usually cooked, the amount she demanded was ridiculously excessive, taking up a lot of time. Meanwhile, she did nothing but watch TV the whole time. "Susie, I finished making the snacks." "Gee, you're useless. It took you so long to make just a few snacks. You're too slow," she criticized, despite never having made them
Herself she complained about me, even though I have finished making the snacks much faster than expected given the unreasonable quantity she had requested. Not a word of appreciation was given. It was clear she was intentionally making things difficult for me, which was incredibly malicious. By the way, while my husband and father-in-law were setting up tables and chairs for the guests, they did not help me at all despite being bombarded with various sarcastic comments while preparing. I decided not to take them to heart to keep my sanity, and so the party began. Sue's friends and relatives started to gather for me. This time was a nightmare. I made them. I wasn't sure if they were good, but I'm glad you liked them. Taking credit for the snacks I had made, even though she hadn't helped at all. Furthermore, when her relatives started talking about their daughters-in-law, she said, "You're so lucky, your daughter-in-law is really nice. Mine is terrible. She treats me like a maid." Spreading lies about me. It made me feel extremely uncomfortable. After the party, it was as if it was expected of me to clean up, and then I was told to also clean the room. While I was at it, I was treated like a maid, holding back tears. I cleaned up, vowing never to attend another one of her calls, but reality wasn't so kind. That hellish party turned out to be a hit, with others leading to it becoming a regular event, especially praise for the delicious snacks. "Lisa, we're having another party next weekend, so I'm counting on you," Susie informed me. "Hold on, I have work that day." I protested. "You can just take the day off. Are you trying to embarrass me? If you don't come, I'll make sure you and my son get a divorce." She threatened she would call me out of the blue, demanding I attend her parties, and was relentless. Even when I said I had work at that time, I lacked the courage to defy her, fearing the possibility of being forced into a divorce by her intimidation and threats. As a result, I was worked to the bone at every party she hosted. Having to frequently take time off work to help out, I felt demeaned at my job, and my mental health was well past its breaking point. When I talked to my husband, all he would say was, "Come on, my mom doesn't mean any harm. Try to be a little more understanding," providing no help at all. Eventually, I found myself constantly thinking about how to escape this painful existence. The answer I came to was, "Let's get a divorce." I suggested. What? Divorcing my husband became the solution. I agonized over the decision. Despite my distrust in my husband for not supporting me, I still loved him. However, I didn't want a future where I continued to suffer at the hands of my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law. If we divorced, Greg and I would be strangers, freeing me from having to deal with his parents. The only issue was whether he would agree to it. "But Lisa, I don't want a divorce. What's gotten into you?" all of a sudden he objected. "I can't stand being involved with your parents anymore. You know what your mother is like with me." I explained, "I know, but divorce. I love you and want to be with you forever." He confessed, "I feel the same way, but I can't take it anymore. That's why I want us to divorce, at least on paper, and live separately, but still keep in touch and continue our relationship. What do you think about that?" Reluctantly, he agreed. Thus, we ended up divorcing because of Susie's malicious behavior. Life after divorce was truly comfortable, probably encouraged by the fact of submitting the divorce papers. I changed my phone number and upgraded to a new smartphone. This meant I no longer received those dreadful calls from her. Living in a different apartment meant no unexpected visits from my in-laws. Although life was more comfortable, something was missing: my marital relationship with Greg. Despite the divorce, we still loved each other and were not happy living apart, so I came up with a plan. It was risky, but I decided to go for it. As a preliminary step, I threw myself into my work. Like never before. The hellish parties have previously made me take too many days off, but after the divorce I explained my situation to my colleagues and regained their trust by dedicating myself to work again. And finally I did it. I managed to save up $900,000. Saving money had been a hobby since college, and my dream was to buy my own home, and now my savings from my student days had reached $900,000. With this amount I could afford a somewhat fancy house. I immediately contacted Greg to discuss buying a home, but buying a house costs a lot of money. "How will you afford it?" he questioned. "Don't worry about that. I've saved up enough. How about we go look at model homes next time we both have a day off?" I suggested. So we set a date to visit model homes. Surprised at how much I had saved, he thanked me, saying, "Thank you for working so hard. I felt all my savings effort had been worth it." "Oh, and let's not tell your parents about buying the house yet. I'll tell them when the time is right," I requested. "Got it. If we tell them now, who knows what they'll do." While confirming our feelings of potentially getting back together, we steadily prepared for the move. Later, as we visited various model homes, we imagined our future home together. "It would be nice to have a power outlet here. I think this kitchen layout would be nice. I also want the kitchen to have a view of the living room." We discussed planning our dream home with care. We also wanted kids in the future, so that went into consideration as well. Finally, the blueprint were completed and construction began. I managed to keep the cost within $900,000 by consulting with a contractor. Our house is going to be built here. Imagine that. I'm so looking forward to it. So have you made up your mind about the plan I mentioned before? Ensuring a happy life in our new home meant no interference from his parents. I had told him he needed to convince his parents to keep their distance or cut ties. "Sorry, I haven't decided yet. I'm an only child, you know. I understand mom has been horrible to you, but I'm grateful for how they raised me, and I'm worried about what will happen to them without me," he shared. While I couldn't forgive his parents, I understood his feelings. "Well, it's up to you. This house is in my name and we're already divorced, so you don't have to force yourself to come here," I reassured him. The rest was up to him, and we parted ways. That day, while the house was being built, I focused on work and slowly prepared for the move. Regardless of Greg's decision, I was ready to keep Susie and her husband at bay. In either case, it seemed like the strategy one had in mind was going to work. That day, after finishing work, I came home and continued with the moving preparations. Then my phone rang, indicating a message had arrived. It was from Greg. "Not bad," I smirked after reading his message, feeling optimistic about our future. After some time, the Construction of our dream home was completed. It turned out exactly as we had hoped thanks to our attention to detail. Seeing the finished house made me realize the magnitude of this purchase. However, just having the house finished wasn't enough. The real bad battle was about to begin. Since I had started preparing for the move before the house was ready, I was able to smoothly move all my belongings to the new place with the help of movers. After the move, I went to the apartment where Greg was living. Alone sitting at the dining table in the living room, I heard a commotion at the entrance. The day has finally arrived. Greg had brought his parents. It's been a while since we've been here. Why haven't invited us over? Susie complained. Young people these days have no sense of manners. Scott grumbled as usual as they walked into the living room complaining they saw me, and Susie exclaimed, Lisa, I heard you were on a long business trip, but here you are. Why didn't you tell us you were back? Sorry about that. Susie, I just got back yesterday and it's been hectic. I couldn't contact you too. I lied as I hadn't actually been on any business trip. It was all a lie for this day. Well, that's fine. More importantly, we've heard you bought a house and that you spent a lot of money on it. It must be quite spacious, so we can live with you if you want. Susie predictably lashed onto the fact that I bought a house, implying they would move in. Cly, intending to use me as before. Indeed, living together would give us peace of mind. That's why you bought the house, right? Scott added, almost making me burst out laughing. Greg was silent, observing the situation. Let's sit down and talk about it in detail, shall we? I said, serving coffee as they sat. Oh, you're being unusually thoughtful, she remarked as she sighed the coffee. This polite hospitality was to be the last of its kind. So about the new house I bought. Yes, you bought it for us, right? I'm looking forward to living with you and my son, she assumed. But Susie, I'm single, I revealed, having not told him about the divorce until this day. I lied about going on a long business trip to escape her unreasonable demands without telling her that we had gotten divorced. Single? What do you mean you're married to Greg? What nonsense are you talking about? Are you mocking us? Elders, Scott exclaimed angrily upon hearing the fact that I was single. Exactly as I said, Greg and I are divorced, so I'm single. The new house is in my name, so you can't live there. I have the right to decide who lives in the new house. I firmly stated. Divorce? We weren't informed about this. I thought it was odd that you went on your long business trip, so suddenly you lied. You've embarrassed me. Just because you're married into this family doesn't mean you can do whatever you please. Take responsibility for this. So you betrayed not just us but Greg as well. What kind of person are you? It's good that you're divorced, as I firmly stated they couldn't live there. They bombarded me with sarcasm and complaints. Then Greg finally lost his temper. Enough with your comments, he shouted, surprising his parents, who hadn't expected their own son to explode in anger. The reason we got divorced is because of you too. He blamed his parents. How could did just say such terrible things? I was thinking of Lisa, thinking of her after all the nasty comments and forcing her to attend those ridiculous parties, using her like a maid, making her miserable. How is that thinking of her? She's not your convenient servant. She was my precious wife, and because of you our life together was ruined. Don't interfere with our relationship anymore. The message Greg sent me while I was preparing for the move had said this: I'm truly sorry for everything up until now. I've decided to cut ties with my parents. He finally apologized after not having supported me at all before, leading me to doubt his love for me, but his sincere words nearly brought me to tears. I'm an only child, so I thought you'd be in trouble without me. I also owe you for raising me, but I've reached my limit. I'm cutting ties with you. Don't ever come near me. And Lisa, again, is that how you talk to your parents? You hurt my precious wife. You don't deserve to call yourselves parents, Greg declared firmly. Don't say such things, sweetheart. I'll try to improve my relationship with Lisa from now on, Susie pleaded, but I couldn't trust her words. You still say so even after hearing his words? Well, do you want to hear this too? I played a voice memo on my phone revealing the numerous sarcastic remarks she had made to me, including a few from Scott. Their faces paled as they listened. If you try to approach us again, I'll consult a lawyer with this as evidence. So yeah, please leave now. And by the way, I'm canceling the lease for this apartment, so you can't come here anymore, Greg told them, and his parents left dejectedly, and so ended the long struggle with Susie and Scott. Afterwards, Greg moved into the new house, preparing for a fresh start. As for his parents, it seemed the neighbors and relatives had gotten wind of the situation, casting them in a negative light. I wondered how it had leaked, but it turned out Greg had spread the word among the party attendees to ensure they wouldn't act again. As for me, Greg and I remarried, submitting our marriage certificate to the office and successfully returning to being a couple. My strategy worked exactly as planned, allowing us to live peacefully in our dream home. Despite the house being an expensive purchase and a part of a risky plan, living happily as a married couple made it all worth it. And then one day I went, oh my god, what's wrong? Look at this, Greg. Oh my god, Lisa, is that what I think it is? That's right, I got pregnant. The future of us living as a family of 3 in this house is in the near future. Though I know it will be challenging, I want to be a good mother to our child, taking a lesson from Susie and Scott on how not to behave.